The BMF empire has officially fractured after Big Meech reportedly disowned his own son Lil Meech over an alleged $10 million theft. According to insiders close to the situation, Big Meech made it clear he could no longer stand by Lil Meech after discovering financial moves that allegedly drained millions from BMF accounts and deals tied to the family's name. The fallout comes after months of whispers that money tied to the BMF brand was being mishandled. Sources claim Lil Meech used his father's legacy to secure side deals, endorsements, and business opportunities, while cutting out key figures who helped build the foundation. For Big Meech, that was the ultimate betrayal. What's making headlines even louder is that 50 Cent, who previously hinted at financial mismanagement and shady deals, now looks vindicated. Fans are flooding social media with comments like 50 tried to warn him and BMF falling apart right in front of us.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He's been working for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Cooperate. So you can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork, if I was ratting it'd be on CNN. You know.
Big Meech's alleged statement, "The loyalty ain't there no more. We're done," has sent shockwaves through hip-hop. For an empire that once symbolized power, unity, and brotherhood, the split between father and son is a devastating turn. With 50 Cent on the sidelines, Rick Ross still tied to massive BMF-related deals, and Lil Meech silent on the accusations, the legacy of Black Mafia Family is hanging by a thread. Meech just sent 50 Cent a threatening text message, warning him to stop talking about his son or face serious consequences. This comes directly after 50 released a shocking video showing Lil Meech allegedly reporting his longtime friend to police and letting that friend take the fall. What makes it even more explosive is that the same friend is now siding with 50, claiming he was the one sent to prison because Lil Meech betrayed him during the incident. For months, 50 has been tearing into the father-son duo publicly, and it now looks like Big Meech himself has reached a breaking point. If 50 keeps applying pressure, this feud could spiral into something truly ugly. The drama kicked off again when 50 dropped an incredible piece of body cam footage, one that allegedly shows Lil Meech betraying his own friend during a tense traffic stop.
These in my bag.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact.
In the video, Lil Meech's associate ends up arrested while accusing him of selling him out to the officers in real time. The footage captures Lil Meech sitting in the back of a patrol car while both men are detained. At one point, after an officer reports finding a firearm, Meech can clearly be heard asking, "Did you discover the other stuff?" His words immediately raise suspicion. The most shocking part? That very question pushed the officers to conduct an even deeper search of the vehicle, despite the fact they had already stated that simply possessing the firearm wasn't their main concern at that moment. Meech's careless remark ended up making the entire situation far worse than it already was. And here's where things take an even darker turn. The very friend who ended up imprisoned after Lil Meech's betrayal recently came forward and exposed everything on Instagram, backed up with the same body cam footage that had the internet buzzing. The individual, known by the handle 3Luck, dropped a series of posts that painted the picture vividly. He shared multiple photos of himself hanging out with Lil Meech in better times before the betrayal. Alongside the pictures, he claimed Meech snitched to the police, leaving him to face charges tied to both firearms and narcotics possession. In his caption, 3Luck wrote, "Reason I gotta go do Fed time." See this? I hate fake dudes like Lil Meech. My trial of life's supposed to be real, but
BMF Immortal, and it's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh wow!
Instead of it being from the actual hustler side or the aspirational side.
The message spoke volumes about his anger. The shots didn't stop there. 3Luck threw shade at Big Meech as well, accusing him of raising someone weak and calling Lil Meech a lame. He alleged Lil Meech let him take the fall for the gun and substances while he was asleep in the car, completely unaware of what was happening around him. He also pointed out how 50 Cent supported him for exposing Lil Meech as a snake. In another post, he revealed, he admitted he was sorry and was going to pay me back. But according to 3 Luck, those promises meant nothing. He continued venting, writing, "Why you asking 12 did they get the guns and the other stuff off me? That ain't a form of telling." He went on to explain that the only reason he had even been around Lil Meech was because he thought he was loyal, real, and worth riding for. Instead, he says he discovered Lil Meech was far from that. 3 Luck added that he spent heavy money on lawyers and bonds just to fight charges caused by someone he once considered a brother. Meanwhile, Lil Meech kept his image clean while reportedly being lost in pills and distractions. To 3 Luck, the betrayal cut deep. It wasn't just about the charges, it was about trust destroyed forever. The story got even heavier when 3 Luck revealed that he lost not just money from his business, but also precious years of his child's life, all because of Lil Meech's alleged betrayal. He connected it directly to Big Meech's old saying, writing, "These the same dudes that say death before dishonor. That's just words like I love you." His message was clear. What was once a code of honor now felt like empty talk. So far, Lil Meech has remained completely silent on these accusations, but one person wasted no time jumping into the drama, 50 Cent. As always, 50 took the opportunity to troll in his signature fashion. He first reposted a screenshot from power star Michael Rainey Jr.'s Instagram clowning Lil Meech in the caption, "I'm proud of you, Michael. I looked at your page, LOL. See what happens when you don't use drugs and spend all your money on Chrome Hearts jeans."
He came and got me before I even knew I could even act at all, before acting was even a thought. My dad called me one day and told me that he wanted me to fly to Atlanta in his presence so I could meet 50 for the first time and see the first casting that he was doing. You know, so I flew out there and it was lined around the street. And the first time I met 50, you know, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answer the phone, he like, "Hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad." And at first, you know, it sounded crazy, but of course, you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it, you know, I just didn't know if I could do it.
Only hours later, 50 doubled down. He re-uploaded the infamous body cam video of Lil Meech allegedly selling out his friend, this time adding screenshots of 3 Luck's posts for emphasis. Alongside it, he wrote, "How you gonna throw your strap and drugs on your man's lap while he's asleep? Like, hear this yours? LOL. The internet erupted, but 50 wasn't finished yet. He returned again with yet another cutting post, this time sharing a photo from a BMF performance. His caption mocked Meech directly. First he went to the airport with a gun and was popped panicking. Now he on tape telling on his friends, 50 really don't give an EF.
I don't give a what you talking about. Right. They ain't telling on nobody. Because if you telling, you can't even look forward to going home.
Okay, so 50 Cent blasted Lil Meech and posted video footage and evidence of him allegedly snitching on his security. The security, who ended up taking the fall for everything, said that he was asleep when Lil Meech threw everything in.
The airport jab was a callback to a separate leaked video of Lil Meech's 2022 arrest. In that incident, TSA agents discovered an unloaded firearm in his suitcase, even though he didn't hold a license for it. At the time, that case already put cracks in his image, but paired with this new body cam footage, the perception of Lil Meech looks even worse. The most bizarre part of this airport video was Lil Meech's defense. Despite being 23 years old at the time, he bizarrely tried to argue that he wasn't legally an adult, almost as if age could erase responsibility. The excuse only made the situation look worse. And then came the classic celebrity move. Meech pulled the "Do you know who I am" card. He revealed his name loudly, frantically trying to convince TSA agents that his fame should somehow change the outcome. The attempt at flexing influence fell flat and added to the embarrassment. Of course, 50 Cent thrives on this type of material. With the body cam clip of Lil Meech betraying his friend already fueling conversation, this new airport meltdown gave 50 premium ammunition for his infamous Instagram trolling, and he wasted no time cashing in on it. But the story didn't stop there. Big Meech himself finally decided to step in. After 50 began dragging both father and son, posting about Lil Meech's alleged snitching while taking shots at Big Meech's shortcomings as a parent, the elder Meech responded publicly. Big Meech captioned a set of photos featuring himself and his son with a defiant message: "Nothing can stop us. We all the way up on the surface, it looked like a show of strength and loyalty, but whispers suggested something else entirely. Behind the scenes, rumors began spreading that Big Meech may have personally reached out to one of 50's long-standing associates. Some believe this was an attempt to ease tensions or deliver a warning away from the public eye. Whatever the truth, the move hinted that this feud was bigger than simple trolling. It was becoming a chess game between two powerful names with deep history. Some insiders claim the private message from Big Meech was simple but sharp. Tell him to stop playing with my son, or else." Normally, Big Meech isn't the type to issue threats publicly, which makes this alleged warning even more striking. The shift in tone has been hard to ignore, and whispers suggest the atmosphere behind the scenes has grown tense. There are even rumors that certain producers of the BMF series quietly distanced themselves, fearing the drama might spill over from television into reality. That tells you just how explosive this feud has become. It's important to remember that 50 Cent didn't just start harassing Lil Meech out of nowhere. The fire began earlier this year when Big Meech linked up with Rick Ross, one of 50's most notorious rivals. That move set 50 off instantly, and he retaliated by publicly accusing Big Meech of being a rat. He implied Meech reduced his prison sentence under the First Step Act by cooperating, and even posted screenshots of court documents through longtime associate Tammy Cowens to push the narrative. But here's the catch. Nothing in the official record actually shows Big Meech cooperated. In reality, he served 27 out of 30 years, and the reduction was tied to changes in federal sentencing guidelines, not testimony or snitching. Big Meech himself addressed the rumor directly in a rare jail interview, dismissing the claims entirely. He said flat out that if he had ever cooperated, it would have made national news long ago. Still, the debate rages on. Some fans argue that after nearly 3 decades behind bars, 50 had no business calling Big Meech a rat. Others see it differently, saying that Big Meech aligning with Rick Ross was the ultimate betrayal, especially since 50 financially supported Meech's family during his incarceration and gave Lil Meech his big acting break in the BMF series. The clash of loyalty, betrayal, and pride is what fuels this storm, and it shows no signs of cooling down. It's also worth pointing out that 50 Cent has repeatedly hinted at this being the real reason behind Big Meech's alleged betrayal. According to 50, the core issue wasn't just Rick Ross, it was envy. He claimed Big Meech grew uncomfortable with how close Lil Meech had become to him. 50 even suggested that jealousy over their bond is what caused Big Meech to pull away. On Instagram, 50 wrote that envy was the main factor destroying their relationship. In his eyes, Lil Meech trusted him more than his own father, and that was something Big Meech simply couldn't handle. As a result, 50 alleged that Big Meech actually cut off his own son's financial support. He went further, blasting Big Meech as a negative role model who pushed his son toward reckless behavior, spending wildly and experimenting with substances. In contrast, 50 painted himself as the real father figure, claiming he was the one stepping in to steer Lil Meech away from self-destruction. In one of the most outrageous claims, 50 revealed that Lil Meech suffered a serious breakdown from substance abuse during the filming of BMF. He insisted that he, not Big Meech, was the one who took action to get Lil Meech into rehab and on the road to recovery. 50 wrote, "I thought about it. I think he was uncomfortable with me and Meech's relationship. I'm telling Meech I don't want him doing drugs. He telling him he used to do X, like it's cool. I tell Meech, chill, stop spending all your money. He telling him how much money he blew. People don't know. I had to send Meech to rehab." The post was a bombshell, not just because of the accusations, but because it flipped the narrative. casting 50 as the one saving Lil Meech from his father's shadow. On set, even the atmosphere around Lil Meech carried controversy. Reports surfaced that Russell Horn's blood pressure spiked during filming, and he began throwing up during a weapons test. Then Ian allegedly revealed that someone had discovered whippets in a truck, leading to confusion and chaos about what was really happening behind the scenes. When Lil Meech originally landed his breakout role in BMF, he often said he was lost until 50 Cent stepped in, mentored him, and even paid for his acting classes. Old interviews show him giving credit to 50 for shaping his path, but despite that golden opportunity, Meech allegedly squandered it. Reports claim he burned through $5 million in just 3 years, spending recklessly on jewelry, luxury cars, and designer clothing instead of investing wisely. To many observers, it looked like a chance thrown away. That's why 50's criticism cut so deep. He didn't just give Meech visibility, he gave him structure, connections, and a second chance at life. But the snitching accusations added another explosive layer. According to voices close to the Flannery camp, 50 is being labeled a hypocrite since he chooses who gets branded a snitch based on personal loyalty rather than facts. The question hanging over this feud is heavy. Did 50 cross the line this time? Was calling Big Meech a rat simply because of his ties with Rick Ross? A calculated lie? Or was it just another round of brutal trolling that spiraled out of control? With threats flying and reputations on the line, this saga feels far from over. If you've been following this breakdown and want more shocking updates on the drama, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more explosive stories that shake hip-hop culture to its core.